Of all of the practices that I know, Zen practice seems to be the most direct to realize the emptiness of mind, or how Tibetan Buddhists call it the nature of mind. It is called the nature of mind because it's our own nature. It's the nature of our own heart mind. And maybe it's better to say it that way because sometimes when we use the term emptiness, some people um, picture it in their minds as something terrifying. But if we call it just the nature of mind, the nature of your own heart mind, your own nature, then wouldn't that be something that you really, really want to know? However, the emptiness that we call emptiness and the nature of mind are the same thing. I want to share something more personally. The study of Koans when I was a student, I write, it took me to the highest heights I ever imagined. I never imagined. And some of you are, studying some of those very, very, very deep, luminous koans, and it's great because I somehow it connects me with the experiences I had studying those koans. They're really amazing. I don't think there is anything else, any other tool that that can take us to those places. Um, but also it had taken me to the deepest hells I ever experienced. And I felt there is a correlation that the higher I transcended, the deepest in hell of my own shadows I had to experience. Because experiences of great light and transcendence is just experiences of great light. So then we can use that light to look into our shadows and and release and heal whatever has been left there. As we mentioned before, or we mention every retreat, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva exists even in the most scorching hells. In Tibetan Buddhism, Tantric art, the huge flames often surround masters, yoginis, and protectors of the Dharma. Many look like demons burning in hell. Those flames represent purification and liberation through fire. The figures appear sometimes dancing and brandishing knives, skull cups, and also they wear anklets, bracelets, and necklaces made of skulls. They often step on corpses. However, things are not what they appear to be. The fire you see is only the fire of wisdom, prajna. The corpses and the skulls represent the transcendence of life and death. The knife cuts through delusions and deceit. But even in hell, perfect alignment is possible. Or is it better to say, especially in hell, perfect alignment is possible, especially in hell. And that's my own saying. And each one of us possesses the heart of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And that heart extinguishes the sufferings of hell. The following poem by Chinese Zen master from the 9th century, Seigen Ishin, said, before practicing, mountains are mountains and rivers are rivers. When we get an insight into the truth of Zen, then mountains are not mountains and rivers are not rivers. But after one attends to the abode of rest, which means here, after one have realized nirvana, the cessation of suffering, or the state of enlightenment, then mountains are again mountains and rivers are again rivers. we can say the same thing regarding sounds and shapes. Before having an insight into the true self of things, if you do not let go of sounds and colors, then you are just conditioned by your environment. And if you search by way of sounds or colors, you'll never find Tathagata. But when we get an insight into the truth of Zen, hearing a sound, realize the way, seeing a shape, enlighten the mind. When we start to practice Zen, we are often encouraged during retreat to let go of what we perceive as the world outside. We turn inwardly in silence and stillness, and we experience the unity of things. This state of unification is an empty state of aware consciousness in which the self, shapes, and sounds dissolve. But after one really attends to the abode of rest, a sound is a sound and a shape is a shape. Again, there are some stories in Zen literature about being enlightened by seeing a form or hearing a sound. Master Ryun was enlightened when he saw a peach blossom falling off the tree, and Master Kyogen was enlightened upon hearing the sound of a little pebble striking a bamboo. The Buddha himself realized enlightenment upon seeing the morning star. Now, during this retreat, we let go of shapes and forms and turn inwardly. Let everything go and allow it to return to the nature of mind. Everything returns to the nature of mind. Everything arises from the nature of mind. And if we don't grab or hold on to it, everything naturally returns to the nature of mind. And the most amazing thing is that we cannot go around without having the nature of our mind with us, without having the nature of our heart mind with us. It's always with us, whether we are sleeping, sitting, standing. It's inseparable from us. I remember when I was working with my first koan, Who Am I? And the idea that my true self was always with me fascinated me, but I could not perceive it yet. I couldn't believe that I haven't perceived yet that which is my deepest essence, and that I had it with me all the time. So I held my koan in my heart and went through many mental storms, but I didn't let go of that first koan. Who used to be who, and I was so terrified in those mental storms that it was more like who. That much fear I had. So I had that image at that time of holding onto a small log in the middle of a vast ocean storm. The small log was my koan. The storm subsided. I did not pass my koan, but I felt peace of mind for the first time in a very long time, and a sense that I was closer to home. It is pretty amazing when I think about that today, going through those mental storms just with that little log of my koan. However, it is difficult to think about who I was before this practice. I couldn't stop my mind. It was so busy all the time, always chattering on its own, always reminiscing about the past and fantasizing about the future. I had lots of difficulty with staying in the present moment, but my heart was still a bit open, and that allowed me to find the Zen path. The heart is the way to return to the home inside of us, and also the way to connect with the heart of the planet. Jane Goodall said, the only difference between human beings and chimpanzees is that people have developed a monstrous intellect that is killing life on earth, but they have not cultivated the heart. Animals don't have a strong intellect, but they are all heart. And it'd be great if we humans protect all animals as our brothers and sisters. So sometimes when I go to see the horses at night, they are just there, not moving, always in deep samadhi, always at one with the stars. They let me connect with their connection to the cosmos. Animals are our connection to the cosmos. If we lose our animals, we lose ourselves. Not only the animals depend on the health of the planet, but also the planet depends on the health of the animals and their natural habitat.